So I was visiting my local hi-fi shop in my city the other day. It's called Altitude Audio, which I mentioned in the last video. And I asked the guys over there, hey, do you guys have a any kind of product or something that from a lesser known company that you guys think sounds really good that maybe I could have a look at? And they went around the store over there, and they have lots of products that are available. And he recommended that I take a look at this integrated tube amplifier from a company in Poland called Fezz Audio. And this is the amplifier here that they gave me, and I've had it now for a couple of weeks, and I'm here to tell you my thoughts on it. This is the Fezz Luna Prestige integrated tube amplifier. Let's get into it. So Fezz Audio is a company in Poland, and they manufacture primarily amplifiers, and that's about it. So it's like tube amplifiers, solid state amplifiers, phono preamplifiers, headphone amplifiers. And if you go on their website and take a look, you can see their vast assortment of amplifiers that they manufacture. Mostly it's all manufactured in Poland, and Fezz Audio sells their products through their distributors throughout North America, Europe, Asia, and of course the rest of the world. So I'll link the description to their website down below. You click on their distributors, and wherever you live, click on that, and it'll direct you over to the hi-fi stores that sells in your local area. Okay, so to quickly go over the specs of this integrated tube amplifier. So it's powered with 35 watts per channel on each side, which doesn't sound a lot, but believe me, it could easily power your speakers as long as about 87, 88 dB or higher. It has only 3 RCA connections at the back, so no, Bluetooth or any digital inputs or anything like that. It is auto biased controlled. It comes with quite a few tube amps actually. So it has the 4 main amps which power the power amplifier section, and as you can see, there's 2 preamp tubes also in there. But it has 2 different kinds that comes with it. So I'll get into that in a little bit. The weight on the unit is a hefty 32 pounds. Of course, the cost of the unit, it retails for approximately $2,500 US. It depends, I guess, which store, online store that you're looking at, and approximately $3,500 in Canada. And one thing to mention though, at that price point, it doesn't actually come with a remote control with it. That's actually an option. And also the protective cage for the tubes, that's also an option. I believe that's about $200. So yeah. Okay, now to quickly go over the front of this tube amplifier. So as you can see, there's a pretty simple here. It's just a volume knob, the front decal here that lights up when it's on, and then the 3 input source switches. That's it. As you can see, the tube amplifier, or the tubes here of the so it's the 4 power tubes and 2 preamp tubes which you could switch out. And there's also a couple of switches here on the back. So the first one here is the type of preamp tubes that you're selecting. So as you can see there's the 2 options, the 12AX7, and then there's that 6 whatever it's called there on that side, and that's the switch between one or the other depending which one you have in. And then here's the 2 sources for the type of sound that you want. So as you can see here, it's called tenode and also pentode, I believe, sound signature. So I'll discuss that. Okay, so the sound of the unit, even though it's only 35 watts per channel for this tube amplifier, believe me, I never at any point felt like it was, needing more power. The 2 speakers that I use most for this video are the Triangle Comet 40th anniversary speaker and the Audio Physic Classic 3 speaker, both around 89 to 90 dB sensitivity. Absolutely no issues driving power. So like I said, the sound of this amplifier, you could actually change it depending on the taste that you want by either replacing the preamp tubes into it, or you could switch from like I showed you earlier, that pentode or or Pentrode mode on there. So those two types of sound signatures, I did switch in between them, and they did make a little bit of a difference. For me, the Pentrode mode was my preferred one. It was more airy, more spacious, had kind of sweeter highs to it, and the bass was still pretty good on it. And then when I switched over to the Pentrode mode, to me it drove the amplifier a bit harder, a lot weightier, more punch, more bass to it. But at times it felt a little bit bloaty. Maybe it was just my room, or maybe it was the speakers I was using. I'm not sure. But to me, in that other mode with the Pentrode mode, it gave me enough bass where I never felt like it was bloaty or anything, and I really enjoyed the music that way. And the tubes I used mostly for it were the 12AX7 tubes. The other ones were very good too. I didn't notice that much difference in it, but the 12AX7s to me just seemed to fit the speakers that I was using a little bit better. And this is an amplifier that could play a wide variety of music. To me, I listen to like rock music and hip-hop music probably the most often, and this one here, this amp, really played those genres of music with real authority. It gave good detail. It was spacious, airy and stuff like that. And to me, it was just really, I hate to use the word musical, but I mean, that's what this amplifier does. It's an amplifier that really focuses on the music detail. All right, so for comparisons, I compared it to the Gallion TS120, which I did a review of that about a month ago, and I'll link that video up here in case you missed it. Now, the Gallion TS120 does have its advantages over this one. The Gallion TS120 has more inputs, has a subwoofer, home theater bypass. Of course, it's Class A or Class AB. You could switch between both of them. It has 4 auxiliary inputs, and this one has 3. It comes with a remote control, a very nice remote control, and of course the Gallion TS120 has tone control, so you could adjust the bass and treble on it. But it costs you $1,000 US more for that unit. Sound-wise on it, I think the Gallion has probably stronger bass overall, with whatever speakers I use, although this one's no slouch either. I believe the bass on this one is probably a little bit more texture to it, but it did have stronger bass on the Gallion. The Gallion also had very good soundstage and imaging, which this one's no slouch either. But in probably a head-to-head battle, I would think that the Gallion does win out slightly in that. I think it does have a little bit more soundstage, and imaging I think was a little bit, definitely a better center imaging, I think, than this one. I can never get this one perfectly locked into it, although it was very good. However, now to counter here with the Fezz sound of it, to me overall this Fezz tube amplifier has better tone musically. I think it's more my style of it. Like I said, I think it plays the music that I listen to better than the Gallion TS120, where I think the Gallion TS120 plays like jazz and classical very good. You can really hear those instruments and the texture of those string plucks and that, whereas this one really focuses more on all the varieties of music and plays the music that I listen to, rock, hip hop and stuff like that, very well. And I could hear it first thing, as soon as I turned it on, I was just like, yeah, that's the kind of music that I like to listen to, and this one has the proper sound that I enjoy for it. And like I touched on earlier, the speaker pairings that I used were the Triangle 40th Comet and also the Audiophysic Classic 3 speaker. Overall, I like the presentation with the Triangle Comets a little bit more than the Audiophysic. I just think it has to do with the tweeter. It's a little bit more open, and it's more clarity to the tweeter, I guess, than the Audiophysic. I thought the Audiophysic was a good match for it, but the Triangle 40th to me was the overall better speaker for it. Okay, so to wrap this whole thing up, so what do I really think of this Fezz Audio integrated tube amplifier, the Prestige Silver line. So the bottom line to me is, of course, the amplifier has to sound really good, and certainly this one does. Even though it does have a few caveats for me, you know, limited amount of inputs, it doesn't come with a remote control, it's optional. I think that's like $100. It doesn't come with the cage, and I think with this unit, these tubes get really hot, and there's much more chance you're going to bump into these tubes than, let's say, the Gallion TS120. So definitely the cage here is probably almost a must for it, and if not just to protect the tubes just from knocking it and any damage. But the bottom line is it's all about good sound, and the Fezz Silver Luna Prestige tube amplifier did that, and it played it everything with oodles of enjoyment for me as soon as I hit play or drop the needle. So if you're looking for an integrated tube amplifier with no frills on it, but just want good sounds, I highly recommend that you give this tube amplifier a serious look before you purchase anything else. This thing sounds absolutely great. So that's it for the review of the Fezz Silver Luna Prestige tube amplifier. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please like and subscribe on this video, and also again, thank you to Altitude Audio. I'll leave their link below in the description. You could check them out, and that's it for now. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next video.